we on? Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Hajar Khalid, and today I am going to be talking to you about the value of identity, or alternatively, how to be a fourth culture kid in an educational system. So let's start with some basic definitions, because fourth culture kid might not sound that familiar to some of y'all. Since we're in an international school setting, though, the term third culture might ring with some of you. So what is a third culture kid? A third culture kid is simply a child that grows up in a culture different than both of their parents. So that begs the question, what is a fourth culture kid? I'll have you know it's a self-coined term for today, but let me just explain to you, instead of a technical definition, let me give you the experience. It's that cascade of existential crises that comes with the question, where are you from? Or, if you're really lucky, where are you really from? So, for the first time in my very short adult life, I would allow the audience to now please ask me the question. Where are you from? It is so interesting that you ask. Actually, let me break it down for you. So, ethnically, I am half Trinidadian and half Pakistani. Let me break that down for you some more. My mom is ethnically Trinidadian, but she's from Brooklyn, New York. And my dad is from Pakistan, and I was born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But if you ask me where home is, I would tell you it's St. Augustine, Florida. That kind of moment of pin drop silence is actually very common. Do not worry, I get that a lot. So, what I really want to talk to you today, though, is as a fourth culture kid, how different instances come up in my life as I go through school and different educational systems, the different small acts of kind of microaggressions that students of color, and specifically fourth culture kids, have to go through. So, first, let me give you some more definitions. What is a microaggression? Well, according to Psychology Today, a microaggression is the either verbal or nonverbal and either intentional or non-intentional insult, slight, or snub that is used to target a person that subscribes to a marginalized group of people. So, that might sound like a lot out of context, but let me give you an example because I have a lot. So, first thing, what's in a name? Well, let me tell you. On the first day of 8th grade, I got up, I got ready, I went to school, as you do, and my teacher, she asked me, what's your name? And I said, my name's Hajar Khalid. And she went, what? And she's like, Haj, no, that's a lot. Can I just call you H? Can I just call you Haj? And I said, no. My name is Hajar Khalid, and that name was given to me out of respect from my parents, from my culture, and from my religion, and it should never be shortened just because it's easier to pronounce. Second, well, before we go there, actually, these instances actually happen a lot and can cause students of color, and specifically fourth culture kids, to feel a lot of disconnect when the proper time and emphasis is not put in by educators to understand the ways in which race and culture affect power structures within our educational systems. This can be seen within the United States, as from the years 2011 to 2012, over 82% of the educators in the workforce were white, whereas only 51% of the actual student body was so. So, let me give you a second example. The second example is kind of a term you might not know, but let me explain it for you. It's called white-splaining. It's basically when a person of European descent tries to either explain to or from the point of view of a person of color their own race or their own culture. And I also have another example for this. It's when a teacher that I am very, very close to and I look up to a lot, we were just talking, and another teacher comes by, and I had my cornrows done for Black History Week, and he asked me, can you please just explain, what is the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation? I was like, oh my God, yes, I've been waiting yes, finally ask me, I'd love to tell you about it. And I kept trying and trying, but he kept talking over me. And it got to a point where the teacher, where I'm very close to, had to go, well, listen, what she's trying to say is, and I was like, no, My voice has never felt so insignificant before. We need to stop allowing certain microaggressions to go without understanding the implicit real-life situations that can come from them. Here is just another example within the United States where only 18% of the school population was black, but they made up over 39% of expulsions. This can come from the common feeling of disconnect between students of color and educators when there isn't a always aware or conscious discussion about race and culture. So I have one final anecdote to leave you with, and I know I joked at the beginning, where are you really from? And a lot of you got that, but it's actually from when I was very young, and we have a cultural celebration here at school where, we have our flags, and where we're from, and it's really cool, but that was already stressful for me as a child because I didn't just have one, I was supposed to have 4. But I only had 2. I had 2 with me. It was like America and Pakistan because, those are the ones most people know. And a teacher came up to me and she said, "Why are you holding that flag? Where are you really from? You're not American." And he said, "Where are you really from?" And I was like, "Everywhere, I guess. Just everywhere." But what I really want you to take from that is that things that may not seem like a big deal are actually a really big deal for kids that have to deal with a really complex thing, which is identity. And so the final thing I want to leave you with is diversity is not just a concept. Many, many, many institutions are very quick to boast about their robust and diverse student community, but real diversity comes with the education and understanding put in by both educators and students to understand the ways in which race and culture impact our interactions with each other and how we can further ourselves within different educational systems. Thank you very much.